Hey, Colin. Let me see if this is recording. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna do like a live video watch as I give you feedback of your video. Um, I just want to give a disclaimer up front. I know I'm not like a production specialist, actor, or screenplay producer or anything crazy like those kind of video production terms, but as a entertainment and person who loves movies, and especially being in the military, I could probably identify a lot of things that can probably help you and help them. But I don't know if you're actually going to be doing a future military style video, but I will give you some feedback that I think I have. As I watch it, I'll kind of pause it and can talk about it. But in the meantime, I'll be just kind of being like a regular spectator and just kind of commenting on some of the things I see. Yeah, this would be the second time seeing this ever, because the first time I saw it, it was kind of loud, and I just kind of wanted to see it right away, and I didn't really have headphones or anything. But now I have the full setup, so I'll be watching it for sure right now. So let us begin. By true events? Okay, what true events? That'll be cool if you had like a little backstory or something that could kind of be attached to this, so we could kind of read about like the actual dates. Maybe you do. I don't know. That'll be cool. Ooh, I like the little background noise that's kind of playing up behind this. Wait, maybe I spoke too soon. Is this the backstory? Scarface, Skorzny enacted a plan to halt the Allies' advance on the third reach. The plan was meant to cause confusion and destruct among the Allied forces. This plan is known as German High Command. It's cool because I'm actually in Germany right now, and so I'm German in Germany. I'm in Frankfurt. Operation Great. I really like this part, how it kind of fades out, and I like the background music. I really like the little background hum. I think that adds greatly to it, and it snaps right in. It's pretty cool. Playing with the lighter, I like that, and I like the music too. What is it, like the 40s, 50s? Beautiful. I love the music. I like the lighting too. Canteen, cool, traditional. Yeah, military has canteens. I like the props. I don't know why you're pouring water in a wound. That's usually not the thing you do. You never pour non-sterile liquids into wounds unless you're actually in a official, I guess, combat area where you need to quickly rinse it out. You always pour sterile or use sterile liquids. Things like iodine or just simply don't pour any water in it whatsoever unless you actually necessarily need to in the area. Some medical things. The American flag should be on the other side of your arm. The patches always have the stripes facing the way that you're moving. I mean, if you're like walking forward, though it's going to be naturally blowing to your rear, so the stripes are always going to be facing the opposite way that you're moving. If that makes sense. If the flag staff is on the stars, if you're moving it to the left, then the stripes are going to be flowing to the right, and that's the way it goes. So yeah. Also, I haven't really looked up too much stuff about the uniforms, the American Army uniforms, but I don't know if they actually button all the way to the top. I know with mine, we button it up the second to top button, but buttoning it up all the way to the top, maybe. And you would never lay them. Okay, so whenever you have a casualty, let me go back. Whenever you have a casualty, especially with a neck injury, you never lay them on their back. You always lay them on their side. That's so that the blood doesn't obviously suffocate them, and so that they could be easily. I mean, think of when someone's like drunk or something, like they're gonna throw up in the gag. Same thing with blood. Blood could run down and get caught up in their sinuses and inside their throat. And but the wound looks really good. It looks very deep, and especially with that wound, you would lay him on his left side, so that's the highest portion of his neck, if that makes sense. And you're dabbing it. Definitely would have packed it. That looks pretty deep, so you definitely pack it with gauze. You don't dab it with gauze. I don't know why you're checking a significant photo of a loved one while you're giving medical attention. This type of medical attention seems urgent for how relaxed it was. You guys were just hanging out. Kind of interesting. But okay, you're applying some, what is that, some tape? The tape seems kind of weird. Okay, anyway, sorry, moving on. I don't know why he's loading a weapon or function checking a weapon. Tuning your radio, I like it. Writing letters, looking at reports. I really like this paper. The paper looks legit. However you guys printed this paper, it looks really cool. That camera angle right there looks really cool. The very, very wide aperture creates this very sharp focus. I really like it, especially the little Nazi symbol. What else do we have here? 1939. I like the dates. I think it's really nice. You guys definitely did a lot of research and stuff, which is really cool. I like the paper. It's also kind of looks like parchment paper, kind of faded a little bit. This angle is really nice. That really sharp focus with that very wide aperture. The background music and the sound is still really amazing too. The lighting is awesome. Seems like a weird place to talk, right in the alleyway while he could hear you. You could have just called him over to the chair and have him look at the paper like, hey, come here, look at this. But, okay.
What's going on?
The voice sound seems too loud compared to the ambient background noise. I feel like the voice is too bassy, if that makes sense. The voice just seemed too loud and too bassy. I had to turn down as soon as some characters had to talk. So
Translating the intel we found back at the bunker, and I came across something. Someone here might not be who they say they are.
Kind of an odd place to be standing as well. Kind of like
Excuse me?
According to this, German spies have been disguising themselves as Americans and infiltrating squads.
I like that portion how like you zoomed back to your point of view and his voice kind of toned down. It's natural. Definitely something that a lot of movies do. They kind of you zoom away, so obviously the volume of the conversation goes down. I would have lowered it a little bit more, so like it would represent exactly how you are hearing the conversation and not specifically the audience should be hearing it, if that makes sense.
We gotta get this out.
It gets worse. Opportunities listed here.
Are you suggesting the guy we just saved is a German spy?
No. I'm suggesting it could be any one of us.
I heard that with headphones the second time, but as soon as he stopped talking, the ambient noise or the noise around his microphone just stopped. You know what I'm talking about? It's like psst, talking, psst, and then as soon as the audio file was like I guess finished, it just cut to silence and back to the background music. I don't know if like I said, your microphones were a little too loud or picked up too much, but there was definitely like a sudden stop in the background listening technology that I heard.
Spy?
Oops, sorry. Right here, listen to it, ready?
Any one of us.
Right there. Just cut off. I like the pans. Baseball. Splicing wires look like. Eating a MRE of some sort. Throwing cards into a hat. A Kevlar. Nice. Once again, the audio files seem to be picking up too much noise. Like noises in like the psst kind of noise. So I definitely could hear that with headphones especially. But maybe in like a theater or a different type of stereo setup, you might not hear it, but I hear it with headphones. The footsteps are awesome. The cigarette, great noise, great sound. What was that? Okay, never mind.
So what are we gonna do?
Did you guys do like some sort of Foley where you kind of recorded sound after the fact? Foley recording of the cigarette. That definitely would have been something interesting.
I have a plan, but we're gonna have to wait till the radio's fixed.
What are you guys talking about?
Your voice seems too bassy as well. Like based off of like the whispering thing, your voice was like kind of like too dark to fit the thing. But I don't know. I'm just being a critic. Don't listen to me.
Baseball. You guys been able to keep up with your teams?
Of course. I think the Cards are going all the way this year.
I like this guy. Whoever he is, he's a good actor. I like the way he portrays his voice. It sounds very natural and innocent, kind of, you know? Like, he seems like the guy that no one really like would ever question or mention. So if he was the spy, that would have been crazy because like I would least expect him to be because he's just like kind of like the innocent kind of person. I don't know how to explain it more better, but like his voice and the way he talks and stuff seems very, very fluid and natural.
Even if your team makes it again, we'll beat you like we did in 42.
You're a Yankees fan. Who won the World Series last year? I can't remember.
You call yourself a Yankees fan?
Yeah, I do.
And you really couldn't remember that they won.
You didn't know either.
They're not my team.
Seems kind of weird how quickly he's getting at you. Like any team that works together, like man, you guys are throwing shade at each other's like immediately. Which maybe the whole point of this little short film is to get to the point of it, but I don't know. It seems like Kirk is just like immediately like he jumped away from subtlety to being subtle about it to like being deliberate about it. Like when you ask like, hey, what are you guys talking about? Like he could have easily just like oh, just baseball, nothing really. But it's just like baseball, and then like he just kind of immediately started questioning you about it. Like it seems really quick, but I don't know. Don't listen to me. I'm just giving you my feedback. Grabbing a weapon, okay, that's very hostile. Like as soon as he grabbed the weapon, I would be like, "What the heck are you doing, dude?" Like that's definitely crossing a line that you just don't do. Like maybe he wanted to show his like authority, but like even still, like a weapon is like a whole nother level. Like like. If someone grabbed like a knife as you were having a random conversation with somebody, like you would immediately know their intent. Like, what the heck? Like, it just sets the next level. Like, you're definitely breaking down that friendship barrier right there. So like, at any time, yeah, I don't know. It seems a little much, but I'll continue.
You're having quiet there, James. Nothing to say on the matter?
Yeah, I don't really follow baseball.
I don't really know what the matter is. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a matter. Like, all you said was, what are you talking about? Baseball. And then, okay, yeah, he's just being quiet. So it doesn't really seem like there's a matter at hand that needs to be discussed or that is being discussed. He's just working on a radio. Like, same with me. Like, if someone's talking about football, American football, like, yeah, I love football, but, like, I'm doing something. So I'm not going to sit there and just stop what I'm doing and listen. So, like, it seems like he's just going too hard at him for that.
Oh, baseball. You're an American, aren't you?
Yeah, so what?
Aren't you?
What the heck?
There are things that make you an American besides some sport.
How often would you question someone if they're American? Like,
Well,
it's definitely a huge stretch.
you're an American then.
Grabbing a rifle, like, oh, okay, a little hostile,
Starters,
but I like
I
it.
enlisted.
It's a good thing you did.
True.
Otherwise, I could be in the same position as the guy in there.
And why is that?
Well, when we were escaping that bunker with the intel, Marcus didn't shoot a kraut that was staring us down.
A kraut.
Why didn't you shoot him?
He was too far away. I couldn't tell if he was German.
Anyways, the crowd managed to fire a few rounds before James shot him.
He almost hit Rodney.
And how could you tell he was a German?
They used the countersign.
A countersign. It's actually called a call
Why
sign.
didn't you think of that, Marcus? You were the first one to see him.
I'm not going to shoot a potential American.
Do you even know what the countersign is?
Of course. It's Flash.
That's the easy part.
I don't know what it was in the 1939 like this is portraying. Maybe it's just different for Marines, but from what I know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you did your research correctly. I'm just giving you my little spiel. Call sign. So yeah, call sign is going to be like a challenge and pass. So I mean, you've seen it in video games. Like they yell out a word and they respond with a counter word or a call sign. But yeah, counter sign or whatever you call it, or call sign, whatever it may be. Yeah, it's definitely common things to do. Every time you go on any type of mission, anytime, ever, there's always going to be a challenge and pass. So yeah, flash something. Flash or in Star or something like that. I don't know. We usually do like movies or like there's always like a theme. So the theme could be like movies or cars or sports or something. And within that theme, if you reply with any of the sports and something, then you could generally like get away with it instead of trying to remember a specific word. But it depends on the situation, how relaxed things are.
You already heard James say it. What is the other person supposed to reply?
You trying to accuse me of something here, Sarge?
I'm just asking a simple question with a very easy answer. Either you know it or you don't.
So Sarge is, yeah, Army uses like Sarge and stuff like that. They say like Sarge or Sergeant depending on your rank. But in the Army, like, no matter what rank you are, it's always going to be like a sergeant. You know, in the Marines, you call them by exactly their rank. In the Army, there's like 4 or 5 ranks that have the word sergeant in it, such as Sergeant First Class, First Sergeant, Sergeant Major, Staff Sergeant, whatever it is. And they all have sergeant, but they usually just kind of all call them sergeant no matter what, or Sarge. So yeah, that's good. That's for Army. If that was Marines, I would have definitely said like, wow, like that's not accurate at all. But okay.
There. I got it. I'll radio in and let them know our status.
No. I'll call and let them know exactly what is going on.
I don't really know what's going on.
Why don't you stop hiding things from us, Kirk?
Oh, it's a little loud.
Tell them what's going on.
And what is it that you think you know?
Either you tell them or I will.
Maybe that's like your way of telling him, hey, let's get down to business right now. We're tired of wasting time. Let's start murking these fools. Like maybe that was your like little hidden message to him, saying like, either you tell them or I will. Like either saying like, either you start killing them and breaking them off, or I will. You know, maybe that was kind of your thing. But I don't know. That's my little prediction. If you're the spy.
This is Sergeant Kirk Rogers. Pull all files from our platoon. Have them at the ready. I'll be here waiting.
So it seems kind of, like I said before, I know I already told you, and this is my primary job as a radio operator, so I have to say something about this. But he didn't really use a call sign, and a call sign as in like you request to talk to somebody specifically on the other end. You don't just immediately pull the radio, because think of him. He's not listening to the radio the whole time, and there's no speaker, there's no loudspeaker. So if someone wanted to reply to him, how is he going to hear? You have to assume the same thing on the other end. So you have to hold the phone to your ear, and you have to call for somebody. And first, you have to stay who you are. I'll give you an example for the Marines. You say like let's say I'm trying to call a unit called Red Sparrow. Like I would say, hey, Red Sparrow. This is grief command. How do you read? And then like basically you just call, you're stating who you're calling, because this transmission and this frequency can have multiple people on it and everyone's listening. So the fact that he just picked it up and someone automatically heard him, hey, maybe that's your point. Maybe your point is he's making up radio etiquette so that everyone in the room would believe him. But yeah, definitely, if he is not listening on the radio the whole time for someone else calling him, then you would assume the same thing on the other end. Who's listening? Who has the radio to their ear? Who's actually like waiting to respond? And if so, that's a sucky job to sit there with a phone to your ear the whole time, just sitting there waiting for the sergeant to just randomly call you and finally get radio checks with you after like hours and hours of getting the radio to work. They must have had a lot of patience. So Depends. That's why technology advances. Put a loudspeaker on it, so it's like a speaker. You know, you can hear it. But radios of this day and age, they didn't really develop stuff like that. But it seems kind of weird. He just pull all files. It's kind of like a really vague term because like files for what? Like their enlistment paperwork, their mission deployment paperwork, their proficiency paperwork, their performance evaluation paperwork. Like it could be any paperwork really. And saying pull all files, like that just seems like pull them how? Like obviously this day and age there's no electronic copies or anything, but like I'm not just gonna be somewhere within radio distance where he could contact him via radio in some like just bunker with a giant filing cabinet full of paperwork with all of your stuff. So like it just seems kind of unrealistic to me. But I like it because he's actually getting to the point trying to figure out this, and he's quick thinking as far as like, hey, I was looking at this paperwork and it seems there's people infiltrating, and he's like, okay, cool, let me just double check our paperwork. So it seems like quick action, so I like it.
Barnes, why don't you go get our guest and bring him in here?
What's going on, Sarge?
I like the lighting.
Any idea what you've just done?
What do you mean what he's just done? Like, no one's done anything. The only thing that happened is you said, what are you guys talking about? And then he was like, baseball. And then he started standing up and started like, what's your team? What's your call sign? And then he just like immediately started like saying like, I don't know. It seems like a little dramatic by saying what you've just done. Like, I don't know. Sorry. Stop talking about that. Background music is back, or the background sound is back. I like it. That guy's just trying to sleep. Like, let him be. He's injured.
It's okay. It's okay. We have to get you in the other room. Something's happening. I know it hurts. We have to get you in there right now.
Line them up over there with everyone else.
Barnes, you're over here with me.
Yeah, the sound's cutting out in and out again as far as the noise in the background. Always airborne.
I know this isn't exactly the welcome back you imagined, but
Circumstances have called for it.
check his dog tags. Tell me his name.
Ethan Conway.
Well, Ethan, here's what's happening.
Ooh, I
So
like that.
here is
That audio is nice. It's going left, right, left, right.
Or maybe it's you.
How do we know it's not you?
You don't. But I do. Thanks to Marcus, there's been a slight change in plans. I've contacted base. They pulled all our platoon's files. They have them right in front of them.
Well, how does he know that?
What's your names? One.
How does he know they have him right in front of him? He just said pull him.
They tell me they can't find your files or you've been killed in action, then I don't need to tell you what happens next.
Hold on, why isn't...
So actually, if they can't find the files, that seems more probable. But even if you are killed in action, they still maintain your files for years, at least until, like, usually 4 extra years past the day that you do get killed in action. I don't know. Maybe that's not your intent of why he said that, but I'm just a little information.
Barnes on this side of the room. Why isn't he being questioned like the rest of us?
Because they're working together.
Yeah, for all we know, you just lined us up so you can execute us.
His voice was a little loud. And he said, yeah. It was kind of like loud.
Everyone, shut up. Barnes is over here because he brought the whole thing to my attention. I am in charge. This is what we're
I
doing.
fixed the radio. That's not enough to gain your trust?
Enough. Why don't we start with you?
If you had the pistol up, then that's definitely like a turning point.
It doesn't prove anything. I'm not having any of this.
One more step and I pull this trigger.
Okay. I was going to say something about this earlier. What did he do with that pistol? Like, right there. Like, is it? Nope. Maybe I'll go back.
Anyone talks out of turn,
Okay.
I will shoot.
So he like he revolvered it. Like he pulled the hammer back with his thumb or something. Like that's not how a semi-automatic pistol works. Typically, a pistol starts off as double action and then it goes into single action using the recoil or the cycle of operations. If you rock back the hammer, sure, yeah, that can, I guess, make it easier for you to pull off the shot once it's in single action because you're basically taking it from double action to single action. But it seems like an unnecessary step, especially if you're trying to do it with one hand when you don't have to. All you could simply do is just pull the trigger, as long as it wasn't on safety. Yeah, it just seemed unnecessary. Maybe it adds to like the effect of like I'm now actually closer to pulling the trigger and killing you now that I did this step. But in reality, like he could have just still pulled the trigger and it still would have shot a bullet. So moving on. And I already talked about the finger inside the housing the housing group of the trigger housing group. But at this point, he's like, he intends to shoot him, so it makes sense that he's going to put his finger there, because yeah, it is the fastest way to shoot, is just doing that. But yeah, okay, continuing.
James, you're clear. You grab a rifle, you keep an eye on him. You got it?
Yo, even if he did pull a pistol on me, and then he said, okay, good, you could be on my team now, I would still be so pissed at him. Like, my life was in his hands like 2 seconds ago. Like, I would not be like, okay, cool, let me just grab a rifle and do the same thing to those people. Like, you kidding me? If someone pointed a knife at you and they're like supposed to be on your team, and oh, sorry, my bad, dude, you're good, you ended up all good. Like, you would be pissed. Like, wouldn't you? You would be pissed. You wouldn't be just like, okay, good, now let me just point the gun at this poor soul over here and accuse him of something crazy. Like, I'd be swinging and fighting all up until the very last minute I could. Like, there's no reason I'd be as compliant to a situation like this, especially to somebody who's in charge of me, pulling a freaking pistol on me.
Rodney Miller.
You look angry for like no reason. Like, why are you angry?
Rodney, you're clear.
Colin.
You grab a rifle and you do the same thing as James. Ethan Conway.
You find his file?
They found it.
They said he was KIA a few days ago.
And yet here you are.
Why is that a problem? I get his justification. Oh, he had to put on clothes to survive, but like, they pulled his file, which means they were inside his database, which means he is an American soldier. Let's see.
Now, how do you suppose a mistake like that was made?
Not a mistake. I mean, it's just a matter of.
Barnes, shoot him. What? You heard what I said.
You don't even know this guy. You want me to just kill him?
If you don't shoot him,
I'll just have to assume you're a German too.
Doesn't make any sense. Like, okay, sorry. Maybe I'm not seeing a picture, but like, not shooting him makes you German. Like, what? I thought this was a matter of like, whose file is who. He just pulled his stuff. Okay, no, he actually didn't pull his stuff. But like, okay, hold on, let me think. Him not killing him, or him killing him because he was supposed to be dead a couple days ago. Like, what? I don't know. I don't really follow that. He was supposed to be dead. He was supposed to be KIA. Yeah, here he is, and that's a mistake. Okay, so maybe someone thought he was dead, and because they couldn't find his body, so they assumed he was dead, but now he's alive. People go prisoners of war all the time. People get captured all the time, and they never know where their bodies are. They could be. Have you ever heard of MIA, missing in action? Same thing. Sometimes they assume that you're dead as well. So I don't really see why that's such a big deal.
If you don't shoot him, I will.
He can't even speak for himself. We're
That's
just
good.
supposed to shoot him with a
It's good reasoning.
chance?
I like him.
All right, Barnes. Get him something to write with. Explain yourself.
Like a flimsy piece of paper. You should at least
No.
give him a little table or
Do it
something.
here.
What does it say?
I don't know. It's German.
That's all the proof I need.
But I can translate it. Let me at least see what it says.
Protecting the enemy, Barnes?
You want to shoot a potentially innocent civilian?
He's a kraut. There's nothing innocent about him.
This is kraut word. It's pretty harsh how you guys are
let
just
me read it.
using all these terms.
Read what it says, Barnes.
It's like saying he's a Jap. Like that's pretty
It says
harsh.
He's German. He's not fighting for them. He's a deserter of the German army.
Are you
but-
kidding? That's the best story you can come up with?
How can we even trust what Barnes is saying? Maybe they're working together.
Barnes, either you kill him or move out of the way.
He hasn't done anything wrong.
Hasn't done anything wrong. He killed one of our men and stole his uniform.
He says the soldier was already dead. This was the only way he could flee without being caught by German forces. He means no harm.
I'm gonna count down from.
That's actually very very common. Germans, or not just Germans, ex-militants or deserters, they would steal an American uniform and attempt and request to be sheltered or to be taken in, and sometimes they wouldn't recognize them at first, but the fact that they would already be behind enemy lines, like it just give them either like a scare tactic, like whoa, like we're getting infiltrated, and they would actually have to do more procedures. But I mean it's definitely common to take a uniform and go try to fall into a platoon or something. But even still, like without them knowing the tactics, without them knowing like the procedures, like they would still be lost and they would usually be questioned regardless of the uniform. But it's good that he's defending them and saying like, hey, like I'm a translator, like listen what I'm saying. And the way that he like seems passionate about his him, how he's defending him is pretty nice. I like it. I like how there's multiple people like fighting for a moral cause and not just like a just do it because I said so or whatever. Like there's actually like a reasoning behind it and a moral cause, and that's what military should be. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it is now. Is we take people hostage and we actually like not hostage. Sorry, we detain them and for refugee as a refugee, and we question them that way instead of just automatically assuming and trying to shoot them. So definitely ways has changed since then.
Fine. You either move or you're going down with him.
He's a deserter. He's not fighting with the enemy.
Fine.
What about Marcus? He hasn't even been cleared yet.
So that's part of the Geneva Convention. If you ever did any research about that, the code of conduct. Any enemy combatants who are no longer capable of fighting, you will not harm them, but instead you'll provide first aid for them and make sure that they are taken care of as a prisoner of war. And so I don't know if I doubt Germany partook in the code of conduct nowadays, but any military fighting force nowadays takes part of the Geneva Convention and the code of conduct. And so I don't know when it was effective. I feel like it was effective around this time. It definitely was around World War II for sure. But individuals who are no longer enemy combatants, but who are no longer capable of defending themselves or fighting for themselves, it is against the law as an American to kill them without proper justification for your life or for the benefit of the mission. And so even still, that's always a decision made by a higher authority, and especially being at an enlisted rank, you won't do that. You have to be like an officer to make those type of decisions. And so by killing him, you would be committing a war crime if you were falling within the Geneva Convention, which I believe America was in the 1940s.
Put this on me. You haven't fired your gun once this mission. More proof that you're a Crow. 4.
I don't want to be here. I'm just a translator.
Barnes, you better move.
3. If he's willing to shoot me, maybe he's working with the enemy.
How do you even know German in the first place? You just got a passion for the language?
2.
I don't know why he's mad. The guy who just, I forgot her name, sorry. Who just said, I don't even know why you have no German. Like, why is he angry? Like, he wasn't angry, but now he's like suddenly angry. Okay, sorry.
I already said no!
1.
Wait! Just have Kirk clear my name if you don't believe me.
Why is there so much tension? Like, yo, just calm down. Like, what's going on? Like, there's not. What's the danger? Like, no one's here trying to, like, I don't know. Continue.
Sarge.
Hey, what are you doing?
Richard Barnes. He's clear.
We believe him? Are we really not gonna check Kirk? I told you, they're working together.
He's got a point, Kirk. No one has questioned you about anything. How do we know this isn't a plan to get us to turn on each other?
Seems pretty plausible to me. Who's on the other side of that radio? How do we know they're not German?
Not to mention that you were keeping this whole thing a secret. Maybe it is you.
You knew about this too, Marcus. Why didn't you say anything?
You hiding something, Marcus?
Me? I'm the least suspicious. Did we forget that James knows nothing about baseball?
Why are you the least suspicious? Like, how was that determined? And baseball has nothing to do with this. Like, if you question me about American football crap, and I've played football my whole life, like, and I didn't know, like, my team's standing, like, that'd be a really petty thing to question me about, because, like, I'm sorry, like, yeah, everyone knows football, like, yeah, but haven't been following it. I've been working, and I've been away in another country working, you know, so, like, I don't know.
I don't follow baseball. What about Kirk?
Exactly.
He never said who his team was.
Was born in Chicago. Who do you think it is?
I don't know. You couldn't even remember who won the World Series.
Of course I do. It was a test.
Right now, you're the most suspicious of anyone in this room.
How dare you question my authority? I'm in charge here!
Ooh, I heard, like, teeth. That was good.
What are you doing? Are you out of your mind?
I'm the only one here thinking clearly. He knew about grief and he was trying to control the entire situation.
What did you just say?
Are you deaf? I just said Kirk is a spy.
You said he was a part of grief. No one here mentioned that name. I never even told Kirk.
What?
He's got a point, James. How did you know what that was called?
You said it. I know you did.
You never said it, James. There's no way you would have known what it was called unless you were part of it.
Put your gun.
So there's no way James would have known it was called unless he was part of it. What? Then the fact that he said it means they just contradicted what he just said. Hold on, let me rewatch that.
Are you deaf? I just said Kirk is a spy.
You said he...
Me? I'm the least suspicious. Did we forget that James knows nothing about
I
baseball?
said I don't follow baseball. What about Kirk? He never said who his team was.
Was born in Chicago. Who do you think it
I
is?
don't know. You couldn't even remember who won the World Series.
Of course I do. It was a test.
Right now, you're the most suspicious of anyone in this room.
How dare you question my authority? I'm in charge here!
What are you doing? Are you out of your mind?
I'm the only one here thinking clearly. He knew about grief and he was trying to control the entire situation.
What did you just say?
Are you deaf? I just said Kirk is a spy.
You said he was a part of grief. No one here mentioned that name. I never even told Kirk.
What?
He's got a point, James. How did you know what that was called?
You said it. I know you did.
You never said it, James. There's no way you would have known what it was called unless you were part of it.
So I'm just confused, like, who's supposed to know, because he said, James, we're going to the right, he said he knew about grief because someone said it, or that was just his cover-up. You seem like you know what he's talking about. Okay, let's just continue.
Put your guns down. Now.
I'm not listening to a crap.
I'm not asking again.
Yo, you're strong, Colin. Just freaking yank him off of you and reach for that pistol. He extended the pistol away from your body. Freaking shoulder throw him. Get him off of you. Take the ground. Just grab the muzzle. I don't know. There's all kinds of techniques you could use. He extended the weapon, pointed at someone else. What is his left hand doing? It's barely holding onto your shoulder. He's not choking you.
Do what he says.
You have 2 rifles. You definitely could have just pow real quick. There you go. Why did he grab the muzzle? What the heck? I don't know why he just goes straight for the choke. He could have butt stroked the crap out of him with the back of his head. I like the bullet sound. How it ricocheted. It made the crack.
Can you patch him up?
What happened to your eye? You didn't get a black eye that fast. There's no way. It takes as long as it takes for any other scratch or cut to get clotted to start blackening and bluing your eye. If that was a black eye or not, I'm not sure. Seems like it's morning already or something.
Good to go.
Yeah.
Kevlars are cool. Airplanes are some good sound effect.
Marcus, grab the tags.
So I don't know if it is the same in the army, but their uniforms should have their names on them. They should all have a separate set of dog tags somewhere else on their body as well for situations like this. I know I wear one in my boot, and every time we would ever go into a combat zone, we always wear one in every single limb. So we put one on the right arm, left leg, right leg, for identification purposes. Cyanide pill. I don't know if that's how the army does it though, but yeah. Pretty cruel. It's a good way to cover it up, though. I like the music. That foam is good special effect.
Let's move out.
Yes, sir.
I don't know why he's a sir when he's been a sarge this whole time. That's pretty weird. That's usually something that you don't usually mess up. The clock's not ticking. Ran out of batteries or what? Did you grab the weapons at least? I like the music.
Papa's off to the 7 seas. Don't cry, baby. Don't sigh, baby. Bye, 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 baby. When I come back, we'll live a life of ease. seems kinda tough now to say goodbye this way. But your papa's gotta be tough now so that he can come back to another day. Bye, 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 baby.
Esteban was editor as well.
Cry, baby. Shoo, 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 baby. Your papa's off to the seven seas. Don't cry, don't cry. Don't sigh, don't sigh. Bye, 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 bye. Well, your papa's off to the seven seas.
Awesome. Okay, so I liked it overall. It was entertaining. It was definitely a step up from oh shoot, sorry, I forgot the other one. Avon, what was it called? No, I forgot the other one. The futuristic one. That one was cool too. Definitely a little bit better than the other one. The studio was definitely a nice touch, but I also liked how you were in the natural, like in the white sands. That was pretty cool too. But I definitely like it. It's really entertaining, and because it is a military thing, then I had to have some sort of critics on it. But overall, I mean, it's probably better than anything I could do. I'm just all about like the realistic aspect of things, because I want people to actually believe and actually understand the true of it. Like I'm a huge critic on like fight scenes because of some martial arts and stuff, but I like it. I think it was good. The sound was good. The lighting and music and everything was great. So I definitely like it a lot. So yeah, good job, guys. I don't know who else is listening to this. Hopefully just Colin, but if you do, share it amongst the cast. I like it. I hope this is helpful.